Hi guys, this is Emma at the Vlog Lady, and today I'm going to be watching Twin Peaks The Return Part 4, which is called Brings Back Some Memories.
I think he wants to go home.
I feel so sorry for him.
That I've decided to let them do what they wish with my childhood bedroom. They want it sometimes to the left, sometimes to the right. Except on cloudy days. Or at night.
So I just finished watching the episode. It was a very thought-provoking episode and different in tone and style to the last three, I thought. I felt it was much more Twin Peaksian in nature, and they showed a lot of the original characters from the original series, and I felt like we were more in familiar territory than we ever had been before. In terms of style, it was filled with absurdism. It felt like a Samuel Beckett play. The dialogue was arranged so that every word spoken felt meaningful and there was no superfluous language. Everything felt very focused on the meaning and mood of the interactions between the characters in this episode. So we start off with Cooper in the casino. Cooper's behaviour is very much like Rain Man. He does come across as being slightly autistic in his mannerisms and his speech and everything, and there has been very little concern about how Dougie is behaving, and very few people seem to have noticed that there is anything actually wrong with him, which is rather strange. It is so strange how everything is orientated around the Red Room and the Black Lodge. So we obviously get the Lancelot Court and the Merlin Market name places, which are obviously connected back to Glastonbury Grove as well. We also have the red door of the house, the owl flying over the house when they arrive at the front door. It seems like Dougie's life was intertwined with the Red Room and the Black Lodge as much as Cooper's still is now. Cooper is still reacting as if he's inside the Red Room, so his responses seem delayed. He doesn't know what's real and what's not. He has a fascination with looking at things as if he's seeing them for the first time. Dougie seems to have been the kind of person who was easily manipulated or controlled. Clearly his wife wears the pants in that family, and the way she was speaking to him suggested that he was a bit of a pushover, and perhaps that he was given a personality that was unassuming so that he posed no threat to anyone, or that he couldn't really make a huge mark on the world. The stuff with Sonny Jim I find very interesting. Is that boy Dougie's son, or is he Cooper's son? Is he real? Is he part of Cooper? I just find it so strange. If Dougie was not real, then who is the boy if this is really his son? I noticed that when Sonny Jim gave the thumbs up to Cooper, that Cooper clutched his abdomen as if he was sensing a memory of his time when he was in the Black Lodge and injured. Sonny Jim is so cute, and Naomi Watts is the perfect housewife. We saw a lot of her making breakfast, and I think we were being shown that their lifestyle was very pedestrian and nothing out of the ordinary. So this brings up a lot of questions about what Dougie was doing for all these years, what kind of purpose he had. So we had some really great moments in this episode. David Duchovny's small role, I don't know if he's going to appear again, but that was a great short role if he never appears again. And I loved seeing Denise again and how she had progressed, and I loved the conversation with Deputy Cole. In that conversation we learned a lot about their history and Denise's history, and also Gordon Cole's history. It was interesting that they were discussing Tamara and her integration, I guess, into this band of agents who have been chosen, I think, by Gordon Cole to be part of this special team who are capable of tackling these sorts of cases, these strange sort of cases. Speaking of Tamara, she is so sassy, swinging her hips as she walks, and she is much more provocative, I guess, than I imagined from reading The Secret History of Twin Peaks. Incidentally, I was confused when she asked who Agent Jeffries was, because there is a side note in the book in which she comes across a document which has Philip Jeffries' name on, and she investigates it and discovers that Philip Jeffries is an agent who has come to a terrible fate. Maybe that was an inconsistency, maybe she hasn't fully read the whole dossier at this point in the series, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't need to be linked into the book as much as I'm doing right now, but their meeting with Cooper was very strange. Clearly, Evil Coop had been thinking about this for some time, and what he was saying seemed like a rehearsed speech. His voice was very fake, as if he was trying to put on a character. He was trying to react as if he was a normal person to these people, and it just seemed so odd how he was speaking. It seemed like a slowed down voice, very low pitch, as if he was trying to control himself too much. That strange forced thumbs up thing was very creepy, and it was evident straight away, I think, that something was terribly wrong. I feel very worried about Albert because of the question that was posed by Tamara to him, asking him if he was feeling okay, because interaction with Evil Coop had caused several people to fall ill. I am not confident about Albert's chances of survival throughout this whole series. I think Albert may be killed off. I think for Gordon Cole to admit that he had no idea what was going on and he had no idea what to do was very shocking, because I think his role in the Blue Rose cases, as shown in Fire Walk With Me, he seemed to have a pretty good handle on things, and the fact that we're in this territory with him makes me very scared. We got a lot of Twin Peaks things in this episode. We spent a lot of time in the town. Lucy and Andy stuff was pretty funny. I thought Lucy's reaction to technology was quite apt, because I know a lot of people were saying, well, how are they going to approach this when in the original Twin Peaks everything was so old-fashioned and outdated and it was deliberately aged, and now we have cell phones and everything and modern technology and Wi-Fi and everything else, and how are they going to incorporate that into the world of Twin Peaks? And I think Lucy's reaction was a response to that. Wally Brando was just the funniest thing. So Michael Cera doing a Marlon Brando impression, except he embodies Marlon Brando as his personality. This 1960s throwback beatnik type who is clearly tolerated by Sheriff Truman and not really loved, I guess. Sheriff Truman, incidentally, seems very likable. He has like a flair of authority about him. I fully believe that he has this connection to Harry, and because of that I feel like I instantly like him. The sheriff station was pretty different. All that technology, a lot more people. Surprising to see Bobby as a cop. Even more surprising was his reaction to the Laura Palmer photo on the table. Maybe he was crying for Laura, and maybe she had this power over Bobby that he just couldn't contain in this moment, or maybe he was crying for his self because of the things that he did when he was with Laura. He killed a man, but he was so affected by seeing Laura's picture. It was pretty sad to see him that way. When he said brings back a lot of memories, it seemed to imply that they were good memories, but when you think about it, a lot of the stuff he did with Laura was pretty dark. I like that the music came in that scene. The original music felt very familiar. It's been 25 years, and that's a long time for anybody to live. To suddenly see Laura's picture, I guess that perhaps at least for Bobby, Laura Palmer was something he tried not to think about. At the end of the episode, we have this strange coloration on the screen. It was like everything was through a blue filter. I don't know why that was done. It felt maybe as if it was done to make the scenes feel a little more serious. Or it might have implied that just because of their association with Evil Coop that everything took on a slightly darker tone. Gordon Cole suggested that someone needed to have a look at Evil Coop, and this person was mysteriously referred to as somebody who drinks, who Albert knows, Who is he talking about? I thought it was interesting after Albert says, I know where she drinks at the shop cut to the roadhouse, implying that perhaps she drinks there. Is there a possibility that it might be Diane, who knew Coop very well? Or could it be someone who was connected to the cases, as we have known in the past, such as Judy, who is a very mysterious character who we don't know who she is or what her involvement actually is, but clearly she had a lot to do with Philip Jeffries. I'm liking the show a lot. I feel like the first episodes were very overwhelming, and perhaps 3 and 4 were a little more easy to accept and to absorb, but I think that it might help to kind of go over them again or look at certain scenes again, because I think there is so much to think about and so much to interpret. And there is a lot of questions. I have a lot of questions, and I don't think there are any answers to them. I think they're just questions at this stage that can't be answered. Maybe they could be theorized about, but that is why this show is a mystery. One thing I'm feeling, and particularly I got the feeling of this in this particular episode, is that there is a lot of love being paid to the original storyline, bringing back characters like Denise and Albert and all that stuff with Lucy and Andy and Hawk and Bobby, and of course with Bobby, we're telling us the story about what happened to Major Briggs. It's like every box is being ticked. Nothing is being left unturned here in the telling of this story. I think it's brilliant for a fan. It's just like a real love letter to the fans, I think. So at the very end of the episode, we got another band at the Roadhouse. I'm liking the way these episodes are ending with these music video type songs, and it almost feels like it's a statement about life itself. All this crazy shit happens and then we are serenaded out by a song. I think already that we're starting to see a pulling together of forces, even if everybody is split around the world. I think there is a long journey ahead, but I'm really excited about the series so far. I have really enjoyed the first 4 episodes. At first I was overwhelmed, I have to admit that. It's kind of like putting a record on and just getting used to the groove of the needle, I guess. That's all I have to talk about, I guess. As I say, I have a lot of questions, and I think maybe they're worth theorising about. There is quite a while before any new episodes come out in the UK. I think that 3 and 4 will be shown next week, and then the week after that there will be new episodes, so there will be a long time to think about some of these questions and theorise about some of the things that are happening and going on. So I might do another video on some of the questions that I have, but that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any thoughts, comments or theories, leave them below in the comments and I'd love to hear them. And you can subscribe to my channel if you enjoy Twin Peaks or David Lynch, and that's it.